We are the Human Thriving Project, building bridges to our most beautiful future from the tragedies that we've inherited. And today, I'm out here to talk about mastering our control bullshit, because we're working with the 21st gene key in the solar cycle and the pulse right now. And the shadow of the 21st gene key is control. At a fear frequency, when we're working with this archetype, we experience this compulsion to control things or to feel like we're being controlled by an external force. There's the inner and the outer that we work with in the shadow. And the siddhi of this 21st gene key is valor. It's valor. It is the deep nobility of valor. And we are working with this frequency, this courage, valor, right? To truly sacrifice oneself. And this happens not coincidentally in the same week that we are working with the Holy Week of Easter and contemplating the sacrifice of Christ and the surrender and the power of that sacrifice. We're working with this notion of how to honor such a courageous, a valorous thing. When as God, who is capable of miracles, there was so much that he could have done maybe to avert being put on the cross, but he didn't. He walked knowingly into his own death, knowing that his sacrifice would consecrate a profound ripple through history and across the world. No one can question the impact of Christ's life, the global impact of his life. And he had to surrender control, right? Valor is to let go of control, to the illusion of control. And when we embrace valor, when we embrace our tendency to try to control things, then we unlock a precious gift in our lives, right? Because we all are struggling on some level to gain control of something in our life, right? We've been taught that control is good. You want to be the one in control. What is control? If we really get underneath this word and this notion of control, like what is control? What do you actually control? Do you control your body? Really? Can you fart on command? I don't think so. Can you fly? I can have some measure of influence over the depth of my breath, whether my palm is facing up or down, whether I'm walking or running or lying down or sitting. But I don't control my body. I don't have control over my body. I don't control how fast my heart is beating. I can influence these things. I can intend things. But what if we let go of our grip on trying to control anything and we settle in to where our true power lies in our life, which is the power to take a deeper breath, to slow down, to not get caught up in the frenetic energy of a culture that is so scared. A culture that has programmed us to be afraid, has used tactics of control on the population through media, through public education. All of these, control is a very big business in the world. There's no other way that you can get 99+% of a population of people to do the bidding of 1% of people and give them all of the Give them 99% of the resources. There's no way you can get that many people to help that few people without some pretty effective measures of trying to control people, control what they think, control what they believe is possible, control what they believe is the nature of reality. Because we all know that the Titanic is about to sink. We all know it. We all know it deep in our gut. We are aware that this empire built on control, on developing weapons powerful enough to frighten people into doing your bidding. Machines that can just tear through a landscape and just destroy things. We can be so productive. These desperate measures of we trying to control nature, trying to control our appetite, trying to control our thoughts. Do you control your thoughts? Really? Do you really? I don't. Oh my God. And the worst of all, to try to control our emotions is like the male aspect of reason trying to dominate the feminine aspect of our emotional truth, our emotional authenticity, trying to control that. All of the shadow patterns, control included, has a sense of cinching down, of contracting around something. You tighten up, right? All of the shadow patterns are a form of tightening. And control is like that. It's this way of trying to tighten up around what's going on, trying to control your environment, trying to control your partner so they don't look at somebody else and maybe have a feeling about them. Try to control your libido. Try to control your feelings. Oh, this sense that we're supposed to control the way we feel. We're not supposed to control the way we feel. We're supposed to feel the way we feel. And then we're supposed to make conscious choices about how we're going to behave in regard to our feelings and our interpretations of life. But this control bullshit is going to stress you out. It's going to cinch you down. It's going to tighten your whole nervous system. So I want to invite everybody who's listening to just take a deep breath and shake that sense of control out a little bit. Big inhale through the nose and then stick your tongue out, make a sound, shake your body. Because this control, it can be released, this passive tension. We can let go of it, but you can't do it up here in your head. Listening to my words may be helpful. It may be helpful, but it can't be nearly as helpful as taking a deep breath in through your nose and letting out your breath. And wiggling your body, wiggling your spine, wiggling your central axis, right? The spine. You control your spine? No. Oh, but you do have influence over what your spine is doing. And what your spine is doing is a reflection of the level at which you're trying to control something right now. If you're really trying to control it, your spine is probably rigid. And the shadow of control is to surrender to being a victim of being controlled by these forces. Right? That's the inverse of the reactive shadow, is to control others and control your life. The repressive shadow is to let yourself be controlled. Oh, I have to. I can't. I have to do that. Right? You're under the control of some external force. And gosh, isn't that relieving to the part of you that doesn't want to take any responsibility for your life? Oh, but we're here to do more than talk, aren't we? We're here to breathe. We're here to move our body. Because this body, the behavior of this body, is the key to the transformation in your life. Valor. And you know what the gift is of this 21st gene key? It's authority. Authority. To be the author of your experience, not the victim of it. The author of the story of your life. You can't author all the circumstances and all the plot twists. You can't do that. But you are continuously authoring the way you respond to life. How much breath you bring to what shows up in front of you. So I want to invite us all to take 5 deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Thank you. I love you. Letting that breath deep into your body. Shake out that passive tension. Shake out that unconscious need to control things. And what if you let go? What if you smile and let go of control? Release it completely. What then? What if you totally let go of control in your life and yet remained the author of your life? How does one author one's own life while not clinging to an illusion that you have control over what you don't have control over? Because every place you try to control something that you don't have control over, you're, number one, exhausting yourself, because trying to constantly manage and control something you are powerless to change is fucking insane and exhausting, number one. And number two, you're probably doing some form of violence to what you're trying to control. You're probably behaving in a forceful or coercive manner or a subtly manipulative manner. You know what? One of the ways that people do this play the control game is you control what information you give people. In relationship, people control the relationship. They control the other person by withholding information from them that's true, but that might make them upset or have a perspective that you don't want them to have, right? So we control the narrative. We control the amount of information that we give. And then we're actually lying. We're lying by omission in our relationships. When I have a feeling of something that's been coming up, when I feel annoyed by someone's behavior consistently and I withhold that, when I have a boundary that feels like it's been crossed but I don't communicate that, when I might be having some kind of a emotional affair with somebody in my life, I'm finding myself having feelings for somebody. If I withhold that from my partner, our realities diverge, and I'm manipulating the situation. I'm not trusting my partner, number one, to be able to hear my truth. I am withholding information from them that they deserve to have to make an informed decision about how they relate to me. And I am hiding. I'm hiding behind what I don't say. I'm hiding behind what I don't say. And the only way to have a true love, to have true love with someone, to have a divine union with someone, is to be valorous, is to be courageous in speaking your truth, what you truly desire, what you want fully. Speak it from your heart, not from your mind, not as a form of judgment or another pattern of criticism or control, but speak your genuine desires. Speak how you really feel. Speak how it impacts you when they do that thing that they do that impacts you in that way. Speak it. And then you'll discover what true intimacy is. Whatever you hide from your partner is a withdrawal from true intimacy. So in order to practice a truly holistically intimate partnership, whether it's your lover or your business partner or your best friend, your accountability buddy, your men's group or women's group, like when you're withholding information, it's usually because you're ashamed. It's because you're afraid of judgment. Because you're afraid that somebody's going to want to push you away if they knew that about you. But that's the glue that binds us together as humans. Our vulnerability, our humility, our susceptibility to making mistakes, our natural feeling nature, the nature of sexual desire. Some people are so terrified of their sexual desire that they've just shut it down. So much control around the pelvis. We live in a society that has so much tension in the pelvis, so much sexual trauma, shame, and harm and shadow. It's both deeply suppressed and it's glorified and commodified. It's used to sell shit and make people money when it is the most sacred act that a human can engage in. The most sacred act, because it can create another human. It's the only way nature designed us to create other humans. Wow. It's one of the most intimate things two bodies, if not the most intimate thing two bodies can do together. And yet, we have so many mechanisms of controlling that impulse in our society. Because that's how we are under the influence of forces that wish to control us. They control us through economics, through threatening that you're going to be destitute and on the street if you don't take a job that you don't like, to make more money for somebody who doesn't give a fuck about you than you make for yourself. And your objective is to just make more money. There are so many mechanisms of control that we do live within and we have to grapple with. One of the biggest ones is social pressure. We've all been conditioned. There's a social center of gravity in our culture. I am a well-known person to break these kinds of norms. I bring my culture with me. I know that I am the author of my experience. And I know that when I'm in my body in a fluid way, that I'm enjoying my life more. That when I breathe and I move my hips more and I sink down in my stance and I shake and I bounce and I make noise and take breaths. I do this everywhere I go because I know that the way I feel is way more important than the way other people feel about me or what they're telling themselves about me. I'm totally okay with people fully misunderstanding what they're seeing when they see me and my shakes and my bounces and my little tiny dance that I'm doing and my spinal waves. I know why I'm doing this. But there's a pressure and I have to be willing to break through that pressure and that I feel pushing in on me, trying to tell me to be like everybody else in the environment I'm in. Don't stick out. Don't stand out in the crowd. That's actually dangerous. Don't have people looking at you funny. Don't have people judging you. Just blend in. Wear your cultural camouflage and blend in. Most people are just desperately trying to blend in. And we don't recognize how much of a form of control that exerts over our self-expression. Are showing up and being who we are in the world. We're trying to control this creature, this divine child of a living, intelligent planet. We're trying to control it to make sure that it behaves like the other animals in the zoo are behaving so that we don't get singled out and get into trouble. Because in school, if you were doing something that was different than the rest of the group, then you got in trouble. And I'm telling you, I got in so much trouble growing up because I never saw anybody as actually having any authority over me. It's weird, but it's true. I thought everybody experienced this, but they don't. I've had lots of conversations about it. I've never had a notion that somebody was more qualified to control me than I was. I just, in every environment I've been in, I never saw my teachers as an authority over me. There are people I respected more and less, and who I gave my loyalty to and I honored in situations where I might have chosen something different. But I have been the author of my life in a very distinct way, in juxtaposition to the rules that I inherited. And I don't have the same relationship with that kind of authority as many people. And I believe that everybody has the capacity to grow into that level of inner authority. We don't all start with it. We all have different pathways to this journey of being the author of our own lives, being valorous, being courageous enough to be the unique being that you are, that's nothing like anybody else, or that's really distinctly different. But it's not until we discover who that is and have the courage to experiment and express ourselves that we discover our true genius, that we discover our true purpose in the world, and we walk the path of our purpose. But in order to, ironically, a lot of people associate having a purpose with like being in control of your life, you know, like, oh, I'm on my purpose, I'm in control, I've got this. Knowing what your purpose is a surrender of control. Because knowing that my purpose is to love. My deepest purpose is to be love. Everywhere I go, in every situation, regardless of whether I'm enjoying it or not, regardless of whether people are being nice to me or not, whatever the situation, I know that my purpose is to love substantively. And that actually takes away a lot of choice in my life. I don't get to choose to be a dick and feel okay about it later and justify it later. If I choose to be a dick, I have to admit to myself that I was a dick and that I failed my own purpose. When I'm following my purpose, when I've made a commitment to love, then I don't have a choice but to seek the highest love that I can seek in any moment. And I want you to imagine your life simplified in that way. That you know that all of a sudden, you don't know what's going to happen, but you know that whatever happens, that your purpose takes precedent over reacting in some self-satisfying way. What if we surrendered control? What if you just leaned back into the current of your life and you trusted life to carry you? And you have to make some choices, left or right, at different junction points, of course. But the main choice is already made, and that choice is to trust myself, trust my deep inner knowing, to be totally honest, physically honest, honest in my movement, honest in my feelings, honest with my words. I don't have a choice about that. I surrendered that choice. You can too. Then you're no longer in control. And you're just a drop in the ocean of the divine current of love. Love is truthful. It doesn't control by withholding or lying in any way. And love is so courageous. Love is willing to keep opening the heart even when things seem impossible. Love is willing to keep opening the heart. And the life that we get to live, and the stories we get to tell, and the influence that we get to have in the world around us, not control, influence. With an open heart, it's so much more fun than walking around with a heart closed, walking around in judgment and criticism and being weird about shit, you know? Like, love is not weird about shit. Love is just right there with it, curious, open. Boundaried, I'm not really into that shit, but I'm not gonna like control you. You do you. But we are transitioning from this culture of control and trying to gain the most control through making the most money. That's really like the control game. If I have enough money, then I'm in control of things. Can you imagine being so desperately insecure as a human being that you had to hoard thousands of times the amount of stuff that you actually need or could really use just to feel okay about yourself? Can you imagine being that fucked up? Like that sick, that you have to have all this stuff and feel this sense of control just to feel okay. You'll notice that really the vast majority of the sincere seekers after truth in the history of humanity, they didn't seek material wealth. They didn't get caught in the illusion that having more stuff means you have more control or you're safer, right? Because what is control really about? It's about feeling safe. The illusion that you can control life, that you can control somebody, is a game you play with yourself to make yourself feel safe in the relationship, in the situation. But it turns out that trying to control makes you unsafe. It makes you insecure. It's an expression of insecurity. You're not a safe person to be around when you're trying to control things, and you are sure to cause yourself suffering, because that's what was guaranteed through the shadow of control. We can guarantee that every shadow that we face in our lives is going to compel us to greater suffering, because that's what fear does. Fear can never save you from suffering. It will only ever make your suffering worse when you follow the guidance of fear. Love, on the other hand, will always make your life better, even if it's more uncomfortable up front. It requires an upfront investment. It's called faith. It's called trust. It's called commitment. It's called devotion. Love, well, is a regenerative quality of life. Fear is a degenerative quality. When you're afraid, you're contracted, right? Control is a function of our fear, not of love. Love never controls anything. If anything, love just exerts a sense of restraint that could be called self-control in a parlance. But it's not self-control. It's restraint. It's different. And I encourage you to root out this word control, to notice when people use it, and to ask yourself honestly if it's actually a thing. Does anybody actually control anything? Like really, truly control. What happens? What's the alternative to control? Accept, respond, initiate things, intend, influence, impact, put energy into. Right? These are all words that we can use instead of control. Right? Surrender control to take true authority in your life. Yeah, authority. Feel that word inside of you. What is authority? Where does the authority in your life live? Where is it? Where's the authority in your life? And many of us have this like the word authority, the authorities, is like a dangerous, scary word, right? The authority in the His Dark Materials is like the God figure, right? The oppressive God figure, the authority. But true authority has this word author in it. You're the author of your experience. You don't have authority over anybody else. That's a control thing. but you can be given the authority to make certain decisions on behalf of groups of people when you earn their trust in a holistic system. Authority. I am the author. Where does the authority in your life live? Is it with your partner? Is it with your mom or dad? Is it with a God that is not visible but always everywhere? Is authority in sort of Newtonian cause and effect, random set of physical causes generating consciousness through chemical activity? Where's the authority? Does science have the authority to tell you what's true? Who has the authority to tell you what is true about the universe and life itself, and about you ostensibly? Who has the authority to tell you what's true? Feel for it. Feel for where that authority comes from. Because at the end of the day, you are that authority. Whether you give it up to somebody else, you're still giving it up. You're still giving it over to something, whether it's Christianity or Islam or scientific rationalism or the gene keys or astrology or how your parents fucked you up when you were a kid. Whatever you give your authority to, you're going to experience the consequences of that choice. I give my authority over to love. Love has it. You take it all, love. You're more trustworthy than I am. In all cases. I say love. I trust you, love. You show me. And you know how love shows me? By the way my heart opens towards things or closes or turns towards things or pulls away. It doesn't open. The not opening, the not like expansive opening of my heart tells me something about what I'm experiencing. It tells me about me too. But I've surrendered all my authority to love. I'm no longer in control of my life. Love has the wheel. I am love's co-pilot. That means I love my body. I wake up consistently and I do my movement practice, which brings me into contact with my divine creaturehood. I do that practice because I love me, because love compels me to take care of this body first. I work with people who hurt themselves frequently because they push themselves to get more done. They're trying to be in control of the day and get more done. They push themselves. They waste their body into their work. But I'm not. Love compels me to take care of this body first, to move slowly so that when I do something, I do it well and patiently, and I don't damage myself in the doing by trying too hard, by hurrying, by forcing. And I've got a really excellent and growing track record of taking really good care of myself, even while I'm doing really intense labor, building and construction and landscape work and tree work and all this stuff. I'm really getting better and better all the time at not damaging myself, because love compels me to take care of my body like it is the most precious jewel that I will ever inherit in this life. Because it is. Because there's nothing more precious in this life than this body. You can say it's your baby or whoever else, but you cannot take care of them and give them what they really truly deserve and need if you are not taking care of yourself. If you're not taking care of your body, the chemistry of your body, the strength and mobility of your body, the energy of your body, what you're putting into it, and what you're producing, what you're putting out. How many hours a week do you spend moving in a way that's just for you? It's not to get something external done. It's just a gift to yourself because you know that you are worthy of your own loving attention. How often, how many hours a day do you spend tending to your own precious needs? This body is our garden, and you can't hide. For all the liposuction and lip work and all the stuff that people do to their bodies, like, you can't actually hide your soul. Your body is the expression of your soul. And even like super bright, loving souls can radiate through a sick body. But you can't fake it. You can't fake thriving, true wellness. Something that you devote yourself to. You stop making decisions about. You make one decision. I'm going to do this thing this many times a week at this time because I love myself enough to show up for my commitment. You author the rhythm of your life in such a way that guarantees that your body is going to be well loved. And then you don't fucking make a different decision. You don't try to control the situation by deciding not to do your workout because you're tired, or because you didn't get enough sleep, or because your nose is running, or because blah, 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 blah. Most people are a product of a lot of excuses. Most people physically, we live in a very physically unfit, unwell society. And, you know, people make all the excuses they want. That's good enough. I'm fine. I'm not an athlete, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff that they use to excuse, like just putting the time and effort in that everybody needs to put in to live in a really healthy body. And see how open your heart becomes. See how much your emotions are more regulated because you're physically active and moving energy with your body in an organic, functional way. See how much clearer your mind is when you are moving your body in really conscious and holistic ways. So you're moving in circles and spirals, and you're moving in such a way that you're creating mobility in your spine and your hips and your shoulders. You're opening up your rib cage in a way that makes space for your heart to expand even further with every breath. You're moving in a way that conducts energy through your body consciously and intentionally. Whew. Wow. Then see how your mind moves, how your poetry and creativity are touched by the vitality of your body. Check that out, huh? And ironically, it's about letting go of control. I can't control how my body ages. I can't control that, but I have a huge influence. So I choose to author a weekly rhythm of self-care. And I share and broadcast my self-care. This is one of my practices every Tuesday afternoon, to come contemplate a gene key somatically, physically, verbally, and kinesthetically. Do these restorative movements that help to integrate my day and my experience. Feel what I have to feel. Release the passive tension that's accumulated throughout my day, from the culture at large, from stressful situations or moments, conflict that may have arisen or may have been debated, what somebody may or may not have said today that got riled up. Releasing that, letting go of that tension in the body, letting go of the grip, the unconscious grip, my gut. My gut sag. Let it all bounce. Jaw hang slack. Doesn't mean you have to walk around in the world kind of just with your jaw hanging open all the time, but I recommend trying it. I recommend running the experiment and see how different your day feels when you walk around with a jaw that's just relaxed. Yeah. It's a whole different reality. Different physical reality, different chemical reality, and a different mirroring that happens from people around you because you're showing up differently. Subtle difference, just a relaxed jaw. Imagine how your life would be if your posture was exquisite. If you had an active spine, if you kept your head balanced, if you moved from the center of you moved sinuously and you kept your heart open. Imagine a day where you never hunched your shoulders and closed your heart off. Imagine a day where you spent the whole day open-hearted, rooted in your base, taking up space in the world, head up, throat open, surveying the world, seeing the world from this uprightness. Imagine. Yeah, that's possible. We all get to experiment with that. Having good posture isn't about having control, it's about remembering, it's having awareness and making subtle adjustments, responding to life and making subtle adjustments. Don't control the posture because it's a balance between structure and flow. So just find your balance, find your hips in space and let them move. Let your hips and your shoulders have a little conversation. Stop being a spectator and be a participant. Breathe. Let your spine wave. Coordinate breath and movement. You bless yourself. You radiate a different frequency as soon as you cohere your breath and your movement. With the intention of relaxing, the intention of having a dynamic, fluid integrity, and with a sense of gratitude for this breath. Thank you. And this sense of love radiating from you as you exhale. Thank you. I love you. Thank you, life. I love you, life. Thank you. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Oh, I love you. It's never irrelevant. This thank you, I love you breath, the connection, the conscious connection that you have to your hips, to your feet, to your spine, having this conscious connection is never irrelevant. It's always influencing your experience, the quality of your breath, the quality of your posture, the quality of your attitude, the quality of your feelings. These are all influencing your experience. They don't control, none of it controls your experience, but they all influence. And when you can coordinate your movement, your breath, the feelings that you are giving your attention to, gratitude and love, thank you. I love you. Then you create a regenerative field of energy that is healing your skin faster than it would if you were in fear and contraction and tight and judgment and man. No. We're learning how to soften and open and conduct a more regenerative chi, energy, prana, in our body, in our heart, and in our mind. So, thank you for joining me for a few breaths, for a little contemplation of this notion of control and how we can master our control bullshit, how we can get out of our own way and to allow ourselves to author our lives from a place of trust, openness, patience, gratitude, and love. Because you're building your destiny right here, right now. There's no other place that you get to build your destiny. It's happening now. Build that destiny with a deep breath in your lungs, with a sense of inspiration in your heart, with a smile on your face. Build that destiny with some shimmy in your hips. Build that destiny with a great sense of faith and trust in what's happening in life and in yourself to be able to respond to what's happening. Trust your deepest longings, not just your surface desires. Trust your deepest longings and give your life to them. Surrender yourself to those longings. Don't let your doubt, your confusion, author your destiny. That's how fate creates tragedies. Love creates tragicomedies. Stories of redemption and hero stories where we overcome the challenges that we face with an attitude of perseverance and kindness towards ourselves and the others who are involved in our story. Bless your beautiful day, bless your beautiful heart. Keep showing up and checking out these lives, and please join us in the dojo at the Human Thriving Project, and join us on Zoom, ask questions, get involved, practice this with us more often. The more time you spend practicing the holistic movement patterns and the holistic breath patterns, the more healing you experience, the better you feel, the better you sleep, the less stress you experience. It's so simple, so good, and there's no financial barrier to entry. It's a donation-based program every day. So check us out. I will put a link in the comments. You can go to thehumanThrivingProject.org and join the Holy Shift Network, where we broadcast 5 times a week. God bless. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and share this with a friend. Appreciate you.